Hey guys, it's Dizzy, and welcome to this spoopy episode. Hey guys, it's Dizzy, and welcome to today's Sunday episode. Now, as it is the Sunday before Halloween, I thought that we would do some spooky baking. And it doesn't have to be spooky, because this recipe can be applied to anything and everything, because we're doing biscuits. And we're going to do Day of the Dead biscuits, because Day of the Dead is also on Halloween and I love sugar skull designs. So I'm wearing my Pikachu hat because this is actually part of my Halloween costume, and let's get started. So for this recipe you're going to need 250 grams of plain flour, 175 grams of butter cut into cubes, 100 grams of icing sugar and 1 egg yolk. Yum. So first what you have to do is you have to take your flour and sift it all into a bowl. And this makes sure that the flour isn't lumpy, and it helps when you're rubbing your butter into it, like we'll be doing in the next stage. So if you're lucky enough to have a food processor, this next stage is completely moot. But if you're like me, and you're currently living in a grotty student house with a grotty student kitchen, you have to do it the old-fashioned way. So you add your butter to your sifted flour, and then you rub like this until all the butter and flour has been turned into a breadcrumb-like consistency. Okay, so now as you can see, this looks more like breadcrumbs. And this is called the rubbing technique, and it's what happens when you mix flour and butter together. So next, we're going to add our icing sugar, our egg yolk, just an egg yolk, mind you, you don't want the egg white in there, so you do have to separate the egg out, which is a little bit of a pain, but we do it in the name of baking. Then we add 2 teaspoons of water and mix it all together. Bottom it's still a little fine. I'm going to add 1 more teaspoon of water, but no more than that, because if you add too much water then it gets all hard and you'll find it really hard to shape later. Now that is all blended, and now we can get to the next messy part, which is smushing it all together into a dough. This is our biscuit dough, and we're going to put that in cling film, plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it, squish it into a flat disc, and then we're going to chill it in the fridge for half an hour.
Eventually.
Okay, so after it's been chilled, you want to get your work surface and make sure it's clean and lightly dust it with more flour. Then you can turn your chilled dough onto it and roll until it's about as thick as a £1 coin. You also want to heat your oven to 180 degrees, and then once your dough is all rolled out, you can then start to cut out your cookies. Now, because I couldn't find a skull cookie cutter, I instead have this, which is a skull template on a piece of cardboard. And what I'm going to do is exactly the same as you would do with a cookie cutter, but just manually. And then trace around the skull again. Now you want to sort of Tetris your skulls, because the less you handle your dough, the better, because it can get all too worked, and then it won't have the same texture, which is what obviously you go for when you're making cookies. I have some vaguely skull-like shapes that will hopefully look a lot more skull-like when I decorate them. Now you want to put this into your preheated oven at 180 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes, or until they're golden brown.
20 minutes later.
Right, so the biscuits are ready and now they're cooling. We are going to start on the icing. So I've prepped the work surface with a little bit of icing sugar. And then we're going to roll this again to about the thickness of a 1 pound. Now this is just Dr. Oetker's ready roll icing. You can make your own if you're so inclined, but I've never really made icing before because this is so convenient to use. And I am going to have icing sugar all over my black dress. But it's okay, it's already got flour all over it. Doesn't really make a difference at this stage. So then once your icing is rolled out to the thickness you want, we have to get back our thing and trace over it again with our knife again. So, and then this will fit on our skulls that kind of look a bit iffy, but we'll roll with it. So if you want to stick this on, the best advice is just to use some writing icing and kind of stick it on with that. Don't matter too much if it falls off, because it's all going in your stomach. So now we're just going to do that for all 8 sugar skull biscuits thing.
A few moments later.
Okay, so all the sugar skulls are now the appropriate colour of white, and I've also cut out some tiny black dots which are going to be the eyes. So now I'm going to stick all those on. got mouths, you can leave them like this, and if you've got black icing, then obviously it's going to look better, but I've had to improvise with some green. So yeah, you could leave them like this and they can be really simple, just normal skeletons, but I'd quite like to make them a bit swirlier and a bit prettier, and so that's what I'm going to do now. A lot of icing, these are the end results. I have a nice tray full of sugar skulls and also some spooky words to really scare you this Halloween. So if you've liked what you've seen, please like, comment and subscribe. I'll leave the link to this recipe in the description, and if you do feel like doing it and do end up making these biscuits, which I really hope you do, please tweet me a picture of it at the end because I'd love to see what you guys make. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!